I wish I could explain it to you, but I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, but I know sleep's good for us, and there's a range. You obviously don't want to sleep too much, but we call it the sleep bank. That's the word we'd be using. So everyone's trying to get to bed an hour earlier this week. Yeah, 100%. Last week going down to Miami, I'm pretty sure it was week 3 too. So you got the similarity there. A decently long plane trip. It'll be longer this week than it was last year. But yeah, it's a good road test. Washington is going to be a cool place to play. They're going to have a great environment, and they got a good team. So it's going to be a good challenge for us, and we're excited for it. Usually, for me, I find myself when I'm frustrated and I go back and watch the film, it's usually not nearly what I thought it was. And so. Looking back on the film, there's a lot of good things we did too in the past game. Our run game was great all day. Our defense played outstanding. They played very physical. They were fun to watch out there. So, but yeah, we did a lot of good things in the past game too. We had some good catches out there, and I thought the decision making, other than obviously the 2 interceptions, which other things played into those too. They were unfortunate, but always looking to get better, but also you look back at the film and you got to be honest with yourself about the good things that happened too. So, I thought there's things we can build on from the game, but also like every game, there's stuff you can get better for. I don't know if you'd say like a statement game. We come in every week trying to play our best football, and we let everybody else talk about the hype around the game and all that stuff. We're just concerned with Washington, and we know they have a good football team. We feel like we're a good football team as well, and it's going to come down to execution. We have a lot of other things that we're focused on this week in terms of, like we talked about with our sleep. We're trying to get ourselves best prepared for the game on Saturday, but we're looking to get out there and just play football. We're not interested in checking what the reporters are saying about this, what Vegas is saying about this. We're just coming to play, and we show up every day to practice with that mentality. Yeah, it's fun. That's why you come to a place like this. You get to go play across the country. Take a trip out there with the team. Stay in the hotel like we do every week. But it'll be fun. These are the games that kind of stick out down the road that you can look back at your teammates and say, yeah, remember we went to Miami. Remember we went to Washington. Those trips like that. Non-conference games. So yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, you guys have gotten the whole rundown, I guess, on the travel. Yeah, we were told that we're not supposed to stay, asleep for more than about 30 minutes or so. So, most people, when you get a long plane ride, you're like, all right, I'm just going to sleep through the whole thing, which is what my first thought was. But yeah, so we're going to be watching movies, listening to podcasts if that's your thing, playing cards, I guess. Some guys, if turbulence isn't bad. And doing that, but like I said before, I don't really know the science behind it. I know it's got something to do with your circadian rhythm and your body clock, which we had a sleep specialist come and talk to us, a couple weeks or about a month ago now, and that's something he talked about too. So, something to do with all that. Yeah, it's definitely a work in progress. You're still working on certain things. Spring ball and fall camp is different than when you get into the real games. Those two, through the summer, spring ball, fall camp, you're playing against guys you play against all the time. So when you get out there and you play against a guy for the first time, it's going to be a little different if you don't have a lot of experience. And so it's still a work in progress. We're still looking to get better with our connection between the younger guys and guys that haven't been playing as much. So, but I feel good about it. I think they're playing well. They're doing good things. They're blocking their tails off, and those are good signs. So I feel good about it. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that go into it. One play to the next, it can be this. Next play could be that. So it's just stuff that we gotta, work through and learn from, and that's what we're doing right now. But for me, I just kind of look at it as it's an incomplete pass, and we got to complete it. We got to find a way to complete it. So whether that's where my body is, body position is a little bit different than normal. Maybe you got a little bit more traffic going on in front of you on one throw versus the next, and maybe a guy got jammed versus off man, all types of stuff go into it. So those are things that we talk about a lot, and we practice all those things, and we just got to get on the same page. Yeah, I think we've been doing that since January. Is forming our offense around the players that we have, and that's something that Coach Johnson believes in, and that's what we do. So, I'm always talking to him, and obviously, he's coaching me. And, we're always in communication about certain things, and so that'll continue. And that's been going on for months now, so it's nothing different. Yeah, it can get frustrating. Obviously, anytime that something isn't going how you want it to go, it can be frustrating, but that's part of the game. Nobody's going to roll the ball out there and just play absolutely perfect against a good opponent, and so you have to deal with the ups and downs of the game, and that's part of the plan too. That's part of your preparation is planning for maybe when things don't go perfect, and how do you respond to that. And so that's something that we talk about, and that me and Coach Tuck talk about too. Yeah, I do think it's better. I think we got some guys that can really move. I think of Ben Van Summering. I mean, he is one of the fastest guys on the team. I think he's right up there, probably top 2 or 3 on the team in speed, which is crazy. But yeah, we got linebackers that can run. We got defensive linemen that can run, and then our corners and safeties can move too. So speed is a good thing, and speed is something that you want on your team. And I feel like we have some pretty good speed.
When you're throwing, I guess are the windows tighter, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely in the middle of the field. I think our linebackers are doing a really good job in coverage, and they're making it tough. So yeah, I think they got a good front. They have good defensive ends. Their D tackles are solid. They got good size, good speed as well. They're explosive. But yeah, last year they were number 1 ranked pass defense in the country. They did a really good job. I think they had a couple NFL guys last year that left. But not watching too much of last year, obviously, because it's a different defensive coordinator. So I don't really know too much about last year's defense, and I'll watch that probably today about just their player cut-ups and checking their guys out. But yeah, they got a good defense. They do some good things. They do some things that we haven't really seen a ton of, but obviously, we can see it on film, and we'll have to prepare for that. But I think they're a good defense, and they're going to, present a good challenge for us, which we're excited about. I never have. I've only been out west once, and I was there for like a day. So I think the furthest past Illinois I've been is Iowa out west. So that's uncharted territory for me out there.
Where'd you go?
I went to Stanford on a visit my sophomore year or something like that, and I was there for like a day with my mom. Yeah, no, our communication never changed. We didn't go incognito and act like we didn't know each other or anything before the Western game. But yeah, I talk to him on a weekly basis. Oftentimes the daily basis. But obviously, he's busy with his stuff. I'm busy with my stuff, and so we'll talk here and there. But it's normal. But he was obviously playing, and he couldn't get the game to work on his phone, and he recorded it at home, and then he recorded the wrong game, so he never even saw the game. So it was all up to me to tell him. But yeah, I told him obviously our defense played well. We had a lot of, forced a lot of, or had a lot of takeaways. And then obviously I told him about how we played on offense, and our running backs looked well. Our offensive line really did a good job of giving our running backs a chance. And that just maybe here and there we were a little off, but we scored 52 points. Our defense didn't allow them to score or get on the board at all. So it was a good day, for us out there. My mom and sister will be up there this weekend, in Washington, and my dad's got Pitt, so I think my grandparents are going to that one, and because they couldn't make the trip out to Washington, so most of the time they're at our games. I think that's something that he thinks about. I don't really have to bring that up to him. We're always looking to get in a rhythm at any point in the game. It's not like we have a section of the game where we're saying, okay, we're not going to be in a good rhythm here. We're going to do a whole bunch of weird stuff. So, we're always looking to be in a good rhythm. So, that's not something I worry about. Yeah, no, I think that's something that's is more of stuff like outside the program or outside, my process. I don't really. Those games are over. Obviously, you want to learn from them, like everybody says. And, I've been working on this stuff that I've been working on the whole offseason. Nothing's changed for me. I'm still preparing like this is the only game that we have, because it is right now. This is the only game that we're guaranteed in terms of, availability. This game of football, you never know how many games you got in front of you. Everybody, as you can see on our own team, not everybody's guaranteed 12 games. And so just getting ready for the game, preparing to win, and that's what we do every week. And so for me, I'm focused on the same stuff as I always am. And, like you said, trying to do too much, that's something we always talk about. Whether we played good the week before, whether we didn't play good the week before, it doesn't matter. We're just trying to execute our offense, and if you're doing too much, then you're probably not executing, you don't need to try to do something more than what we've talked about. So, it's the same. Man, do I remember my first one? I think my first one was, well, no, I don't remember my first one. It was 2 years ago. But, I was happy for him. He got in there, last week when I had gotten taken out for the one play, and, he chucked it down there. And I had just looked up from working with the trainer. I saw the ball was in the air. I'm like, oh, shoot, because I had told him, well, on my way out, I was like, just run it, I'll be back for the next play. And all of a sudden the ball's in the air going to the end zone. I was like, oh! And then unfortunately we didn't get it completed. But, obviously this week, they had taken me into the tent for, to do the normal procedure, which sucks. But went in there, heard the crowd go crazy. I hopped off the table. I said, oh, we got the ball back. And they said, no, sit down. And I'm like, well, I asked them if we had the ball back, so I was going to go out there. And they made me finish the little test and, looking at all the business for the concussion stuff. But, then right as I walked out, the play was happening. I saw him throw it to the end zone, and so I, went crazy. I was happy for him. It's nice to get the first one under his belt, and, that'll be good stuff moving forward.